We've cashed out on plus 220s, plus 480s, and a parlay so far through this video. And in today's touchdown picks video, I'm giving you one official pick in every single game. And because I'm a degenerate, and because I know you are too, I'm going to sprinkle in some extra picks, some long shots. And today, a special just for you. I'm going to take my favorite touchdown picks and put them in a parlay. You're going to be able to click that parlay and enter it right into your book too. Told you it was special. Let's get to work. All right, my friends, here's what we're going to do today. This is the Novig Sportsbook. You're going to see me use it. This is mysparryedge.com. I'll shop the odds. I'll be doing research with the player cards. And you're going to see me down here in the corner trying to hide myself. Can't take the limelight. Anyway, first one. Let's get to it. Josh Jacobs, lock him in. 12th straight game he scores. Browns defense, very good. 2.5 yards per carry they're allowing, so good luck to the yardage props, but I do like him for a tutty. If the Packers win today, I can't imagine he didn't score a touchdown. So I like the parlay of the Packers with Josh Jacobs for a minus 114. Check this out. This is my Discord. This was a premium pick for Thursday night. I also showed it on YouTube, you lucky dogs. It was the Bills money lining James Cook for a tutty. I love doing this whenever we get juiced money lines and juiced touchdowns. I ended up going 3-0. And I cashed out on the plus 390 parlay for VIPs. It was a great week. And if you haven't paid attention, Fire inside my Discord has done a 52-25 run. And Opto EV Picks went 7-0 last week with his NFL player props. Cashed out a plus 1300 on Monday Night Football as well. The only way to access my VIP picks and parlays and models, as well as my staff's picks and parlays, is going to be this link right here. It's down in the description section if you want it later. Otherwise, let's make some picks. Next up, we got the Falcons and the Panthers. Here's the deal, my friends. We saw Bijan Robinson get absolutely vultured. Unfortunate, but look at this. Gross, disgusting. Minus 212 is nasty. I don't want anything to do with it unless I'm putting it in a parlay. And today, I think he scores against the Panthers. I'm not overthinking it. I'm having trouble here. I told you I was going to select a longer odds play in every game, but the problem is, who the heck do I pick? These quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and Bryce Young, do not throw well in the red zone. I think both of them could have 15 or fewer passing touchdowns on the entire season. That being said, I told you I'd have a long shot in every game. The long shot for this one's going to be Bryce Young. There's not a lot to like there, so we'll breeze through it. He did score a touchdown in 4 out of the last 6 games last season. He's been running pretty well for the past 6 to 8 games to close out last year and start this year. And he has 1 red zone carry so far. I guess he's due. Moving on. Next up, Bengals and Vikings. Oh my gosh. Here's the deal. We kind of start with 3 clunkers in this video. So if you're still around and you're ready for the rest, it's probably because the last 2 weeks I've done this video, I've absolutely cleaned house. Win you a little bit of money weekly. It's Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. Who can get to the red zone time? It's not going to be pretty, but we have seen Jake Browning absolutely lock into Jamar Chase. I like him for over 5.5 receptions this week. Chase had 16 targets, 14 catches last week, and we've seen Browning in the past connect with Jamar Chase enough to make him a relevant person to bet on. So you're giving me one of, if not the best wide receiver playmaker at this point in time in the NFL for a plus 151 in a game where I feel every other spot is volatile. Yes, there's other people who could score at any given moment in this game. It's going to be volatile. Who the heck knows what's going to happen? It's Wentz versus Browning. And I'm not touching a juiced odds play like Jordan Mason. Yes, Aaron Jones is gone. He should be the alpha in the backfield. But do they even get down the field into the 5, inside the 10? I don't know. Nobody knows what we're going to see from these teams. I know I told you a long odd play in every game, but some of them like this. Let's move on. It's Jamar Chase or bust. All right, we got the Steelers and Patriots. Another absolute clunker. DK Metcalf under 4.5 receptions in yesterday's video. Hopefully you watched the best bets video. One of my favorite of the entire video. It's been 11 straight games since he's had 5 or more receptions. He's had 4 and 3 with only 6 and 5 targets with Aaron Rodgers. That being said, I am slightly interested in his touchdown reception this week. I think anytime touchdown for a guy that size with that type of upside, getting over the top of a defense at plus 144 is pretty solid. Jalen Warren continues to score touchdowns, and with the role he has in the offense out of the backfield as a running back and as a pass catcher, I think he's a fine option. And unlike someone like we just saw Jordan Mason, a minus 135 in a volatile spot, I'm not a fan of those. but I can take a minus 103 in a volatile spot. That is not bad to me. My longer odds play would probably be on Kelvin Austin or Jonnu Smith. Smith had a touchdown already. Kelvin Austin's had a touchdown already. What I like about Jonnu here, and he'll be the official one for me for the long odds play, just know that I do think some of these other guys down there are worth maybe a look, is Jonnu's in there in the red zone all the time. He's run 56 and 58% of the snaps through 2 weeks. He's garnering good targets and catches every week, and he clearly has a role and the eye of Aaron Rodgers. So there's the long odds play. Let's move on. There's better games coming. Please, I'm trying to breeze through these crummy games to start the video. Next up, we got the Raiders and Commanders. And again, it's a stinker. And don't forget, I'll be giving you my favorite touchdown parlay in this video. So sit back and relax. The favorite touchdown parlay is coming over there on Novig Sportsbook, which, by the way, if you want to tail the parlay, sign up over there using code DONUTS, DONUTS, and you will find the parlay on their homepage. It's going to say anytime touchdown parlay. It's going to be 4 or 5 legs. I can't remember what I texted them. They're going to pop it right up inside their app just for people who use code DONUTS, DONUTS. We've got Geno Smith versus Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota? We don't know yet. At the time of this recording, we don't know yet. But what I do know is that we get Brock freaking Bowers at plus 192. He ran enough snaps last week for me not to be terribly concerned about him. And we've now had another week of practice where he's been limited but active every practice. And you're giving me a plus 192 for this? And again, for this type of game where we are seeing absolute volatility from quarterback play, we don't know who's going to be out there for quarterback. Same thing as the Bengals and the Vikings. Like, why wouldn't I just take Jamar Chase, Brock Bowers, these best players on the field, and you're going to give me plus 155, plus 182? I mean, what the heck? Only one of those two guys needs to score today, and I'm profiting if I did the same one unit on both of them. In these volatile spots, I'm just going to bet on the best players to do a best play type thing. I hope this makes sense. Just understand it's volatile. All right, let's talk about the Colts and Vikings. Jonathan Taylor is top 3 in the NFL in opportunities inside the red zone. He's right up there alongside Christian McCaffrey, who we will talk about later. The problem is Daniel Jones is out there still stealing touchdowns. Danny Dimes has 3 rushing touchdowns this season. He's turned into a tush-push pro. Who knew it? Jonathan Taylor had 7 red zone carries in week 1. He had 4 more in week 2. He did score against Denver last week, now gets to face Tennessee, an inferior opponent. I think the Colts not only win on the road, but I think Jonathan Taylor easily gets into the end zone. He's a fine option. Sometimes we don't need to overthink these things. I think JT is worth a look. Sooner or later, Danny Dimes is going to stop getting in the end zone. But listen, I don't trust him to throw a touchdown to anybody outside of Tyler Warren. But if I'm choosing between a plus 228 or a guy who's run in 3 touchdowns already, give me the plus 188 as the longer odds play in this game. Finally, we're getting into some fun ones. Rams, Eagles, Jets, Bucks, Texans, Jags. We've got some marquee games at the 4 o'clock, and then we have the primetime duo here. I can't wait to talk about the rest of these. But first, just wanted to say thank you one more time this week in a video. The metrics on my YouTube are at a level that I literally never could have fathomed. It's every single day. I'm texting my mom, my dad. I'm showing my wife. I'm like, babe, look at the percentages. It's just been crazy. I can't even begin to tell you. So I continue to try to by just doing it over and over and over again. Thank you very much for all of the likes, all of the genuine comments you're leaving down in the comment section. It's been so nice. It's made me feel good. And I hope that I can return the favor by trying to line your pockets. It's been an absolute scorched earth heater to start the NFL season. It's been a movie. We're talking double-digit profit in units. And we're only 2 weeks and a Thursday night through. We got a long season ahead. Have a good feeling. VIPs are going to love it. And I know my YouTube community is along for the ride. Thank you so much. And if you could do me a huge favor, the obligatory ask. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All right, back to the picks. We got the Rams and the Eagles, and everybody under the sun wants to bet on touchdowns in this game, and I do not blame them. It's a great spot. Why do we not want to bet on these players? And my favorite part is, like, I don't even mind the odds for all 4 of these guys. Puka Nacua, I love for receiving yards this week. He ripped off a ton of yards in both games against the Eagles last season. He's looked absolutely elite and healthy again with Matt Stafford, who looks fine. Kyron Williams is going to get back in the end zone sooner or later. Minus 108 is a great way to bet on him when you usually have to pay a minus 160 for the guy. And then Saquon Barkley continues to score, and Jalen Hurts continues to score. This is turning into exactly what we had last year. Don't overthink this. These guys are going to score so much. The offense is efficient. The defense is good enough where they get extra possessions. They get up and down the field in a hurry. They get red zone opportunities left and right. Nobody's had as many rushing touchdowns as Jalen Hurts as a quarterback through his first 5 years in the NFL. 55 is the record, and it's his. He had 2 in week 1. He had 1 last week. Nothing's changed. If I'm picking anybody in this game to score a touchdown, it's Jalen Hurts, and I'm moving on. As much as I love Saquon, I love this spot. Because I told you we're going to shop the odds, let's also quickly do that. So I'm going to look at Saquon, S-A-Q-U. There we go. Total touchdown markets pop up. And let me just clean this up for you. I'm going to go to markets, click total touchdowns. There we go. Now there's not so much to look at. And I guess one of my favorite things here too is that on Novig, it's one of the only places that you can actually bet on the under for touchdowns. So today, for anybody who's watching this video, you're like, oh, donuts is such a square. That's fine. If that's what you think, put your money where your mouth is then, because you can take the under on every single one of the touchdown picks I make. And for any of these juiced plays like Jonathan Taylor minus 170, let me show you. On the other side of it, you're going to be able to take the under at long odds, plus 152 to the under. It's up to you what you want to do. But anyways, we saw Saquon, and we'll type him back in, and we're going to open his player card. We're going to type in Jalen and look at his odds. Here's Saquon Barkley. We can see, runs him in, catches a few. And I see there's a bunch of JALEs, so I'm going to type in Hurts as well. There we go. And again, hey, you don't like Jalen Hurts? Well, then you can take the under and call me a square. And we'll take a look at Saquon Barkley and both of their player cards. So we've got rushing touchdowns. We can look at receiving touchdowns. We can look at all the odds. Was a beast in the playoffs, scored 5 tutties then. And last year, yeah, he was a bit more touch and go. But when he popped off for multiple touchdowns. And this is why, I'm going to show you real quick. This is why I like Jalen Hurts more, actually. While he didn't have the same total as Barkley because of the big upside, he was more consistent. He scored in 10 of the 15 games last year, 2 of the 3 in the playoffs, both this season. Overall, that's 14 of 19 games. And if you go back and you look at a lot of those games, he scores a lot when the games are close. Today, if you're watching on Sunday, if you're watching Saturday, tomorrow, and this game with the Rams, we got a 3.5 point spread at home. Rams are getting 3.5 on the road here. Should be a very competitive and close game. I think it's probably going to be low scoring, just like last week's game in Arrowhead, 20-17 win. I can see a very similar outcome coming to fruition. Give me Jalen Hurts and a touchdown. Now, you want a longer odds play? I mean, good luck. There are so many touchdown makers on both sidelines. Heck, Blake Corum vultured Kyron Williams last week. Unbelievable. Guys like Devonta, AJ, Devontae, I mean, they all can score. Good luck. That's all I have to say. But because I said I'd pick one for every game, I'm going to close my eyes and click. AJ Brown, baby, plus 191 to get in the end zone. There you go. Next up, we got the Jets. We've got the Bucs. And this is one of my favorite on the entire slate. So I'm telling you right now, that touchdown parlay I'm going to build you today, yeah, it's going to have Bucky Irving in it, minus 115 on Novig. We see this time and time again. These running backs that don't get in the end zone when everybody under the sun has bet on them, well, the very next week, they get 1 early, they get 2 or 3 by the end of the game. Derrick Henry's crushing everyone's soul in week 2. Yeah, he's probably scoring Monday Night Football. I wouldn't doubt to see him get the first team touchdown, maybe the first touchdown of the game. Those bets are interesting to me. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football on the Monday morning live show at 9 a.m. Eastern. Set your alarms on your phone. Monday, 9 a.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. You can't miss those 2 shows, my friends. 9 a.m. Eastern, Sunday morning live show. 2 hours, total degeneracy. But I digress. I've clicked Mike Evans accidentally when I meant to click Bucky Irving. Bucky did not get in the end zone last week. The Jets have been gashed by opposing running backs. Jalen Warren scored against them in week 1, a guy who doesn't even have a lot of touchdown equity. Then in week 2 against the Bills, well, James Cook has all the touchdown equity in the world, and he hammered out 130 plus yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. That's 3 if you're keeping track. Tutties against them. All inside the 20. Bucky Irving can score from anywhere on the field. Most often going to score from inside the red zone. You're getting him at minus 115 for a home team that is favored against a team that gives up a lot of rushing touchdowns so far. Yeah, I'm not overthinking this. Bucky Irving, probably a top 2 or 3 pick of the week for me from this video. If you were hoping for like, hey, donuts, give me like 1 or 2 total, and then I'm out of here. Bucky Irving's one of those 2. You want a longer odds play? I mean, listen, yes, long odds would be like plus 492 Tyrod Taylor. However, however, can we just say EE Emeka Egbuka, what a name, plus 156. This is similar to the Brock Bowers play. Dude just keeps scoring. That's not good for Mike Evans. 14 touchdowns last year. He's at 8+ in 6 out of the last 7 years. 10, I think double digits, 5 of the last 6. I mean, he's always been a red zone magnet. Baker's loved him, but apparently Emeka is going to be that guy too. So now I'm a little concerned about Mike Evans and his touchdown upside this year. That's the longer play in this game for me. We got another 1 o'clock game here, Texans, Jags. And then we have all the fun 4 o'clock and primetime games to talk about. And I'm going to repeat myself really quick. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. We peaked at over 900 viewers in week 2 on YouTube. That means at one moment in time, there were 900 absolute degenerates sitting there with their coffee and their tea and sipping on it and placing bets with me live on the show. 9 a.m. Sunday and Monday. Be here for me, with me, while together we analyze the slate. We put together some parlays. And we just hang out. 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Sunday morning, Texans, Jags. Now, this one's very tricky. Nico's due to score sooner or later here. He's probably my favorite out of the game. Travis Etienne continues to get opportunities. On the Jag side, he's probably my favorite here. Brian Thomas Jr., always a touchdown threat. Travis Hunter's due for one. And if you want a longer odds play, there's the long odds opportunity. It's Travis Hunter punching one in somehow, some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's a defensive pick 6. Who knows? But I think it's Nico Collins' turn on the road. Texans 0-2. They need a win. Moving on, 4 o'clock slate. This one's a good one. Broncos, Chargers. Could be top 3 game of the week. This one could be an absolute barn burner. Let's be real. We got 2 really good NFC West teams. 1-1 Broncos, 2-0 Chargers. Have already beat the Raiders on Monday Night Football. They beat the Chiefs in Brazil. And now they're home, finally in front of their fans. And how are they disrespecting Keenan Allen? Not only is he plus 217, and I know I said I'd pick like a long shot and then, my favorite of the game, but Keenan Allen is both of those things. He is the best. He is my favorite. He's the long shot. We cashed him in both of the first 2 touchdown picks videos, and I'm not overthinking it. I talked about this ad nauseum to start the season. Keenan Allen's talent didn't fall off a cliff. When you look at the metrics and the data from 2023 to 2024, there's no way, shape, or form that he just disappeared like that. It was Caleb Williams. Clearly, as we've watched through 2 weeks with Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator, it was Caleb Williams. And Keenan Allen has looked fine. He's basically picked up his old role. Crucial third down guy, solid in the red zone, big body, great hands. And it's kind of suppressing the upside of Ladd McConkey, as is Quentin Johnson's progression as a wide receiver finally, as he's elevated his game. Watch out, Jameson Williams out there in Detroit. You've got competition for one of the biggest play wide receivers in the NFL, although Jamo went for 2 catches, a $108 and a tutty last week, and a big statement win for the Lions. Monday Night Football. I can't wait to bet on it and build some parlays. That one's going to be such a banger. But I digress. There it is. That was the I digress for the day. If you're betting on anybody on the Broncos side of things, it's J.K. Dobbins. Red zone equity for days. Had the role last year for the Chargers, now has it for the Broncos, and he's doing what he did. Score touchdowns and make plays. The man's on a 1-year, $5 million contract to prove it. Hey, can you stay healthy? He'll go get himself a 2-3-year contract for, 18 mil or so after this season if he stays healthy and does what he's been doing last year and this year. And that's be a really, really good running back. Maybe not as elite as he looked like in his first 2 years as a Baltimore Raven, as a 21, 22-year-old. But heck, man, he looks pretty darn close. And I love to see those comeback stories. Stay healthy, JK. Plus 140 for the Broncos, my favorite side. Outright, best of the game, Keenan Allen, plus 217. All right, we got the Cowboys. First off, I can't believe they opened at plus 1.5. Our betting model slammed the Cowboys money line spread. So, yeah, I think they're winning on the road against the Chicago Bears that are just absolutely disheveled. Cowboys, I think, are much better than what they are in the record and in standings 0-2. They lost 24-20 in week 1, opening night of the NFL season in Philadelphia against the champs. Yeah, that was a tough spot. And they lost by 4 points. They played hard. Last week, they win against the Giants in overtime. They were a massive popular survivor pick as well. So were the Cardinals. Another close one with the Panthers coming out of the fourth quarter, scoring like 21 points or something. But I digress. There it is. Second, I digress. I'm always digressing. I can't help it. Love talking about sports and betting. I'll go off in these crazy tangents, and then I come back around because I digress. We got to have an I digress counter down there. I'm at 3 today. They're all within like 90 seconds. I'm losing control. Let's try again. CD Lamb, TD Lamb, as I called him 3 years ago, and I've actually seen people start to say on some big networks now, TD Lamb. I love that one. I think he scores. I think he scores in this game. I think he has a long reception, over 25 and a half. Long reception's a great play. 9 of 9 games with Dak Prescott starting and finishing the game last season and this season. That's 9 of 9 times he's had a 27-plus yard reception. Love that play. But we're looking for tutties. This hits about 4. This will hit 40, 50% of the time whenever Dak is suited up. You people forget how elite CeeDee Lamb was with a healthy Dak Prescott. He was 50 yards away from leading the NFL in receiving yardage in 2023. I think it was 49 to be exact, behind Tyreek Hill when he used to be on the Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, I think that might have been Dolphins. It doesn't matter. I digress. Add it to the counter. CeeDee Lamb, my favorite in this game. Now, you need a long odds play. Yes, I understand. Javonte Williams is there. I think he's the favorite, though. I think a lot of people will be betting on him. But I think TD gets in the end zone. You want a longer odds play, though? Give me Jake Ferguson. If Javonte does not score inside the red zone, a lot of times that's because of, you get that like 2-yard line play where they do a play action. The tight end goes across the goal line or goes like back corner pylon, and all of a sudden they catch that touchdown. You're like, oh man, come on, I had Javonte for it anytime. Yeah, you see that all the time. For that reason, he would be the player that I would sprinkle a little bit on for long, but I don't like it. I'm just doing it for the sake of sticking to the concept of this video. Saints and Seahawks. This one's a tough one in my opinion. It's hard to lean on certain players in certain spots. Nobody on the Saints I can lean on. Jackson Smith and Najigba is the only player I really am interested in this game at all. He's had a ton of targets, 13 and 10 over the last 2 weeks from Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has crowned him my new Justin Jefferson. He's had 7 and 8 catches, 100+ yards both games, tons of opportunity. I think he scores here. I think he has himself a top maybe 6 to 8 wide receiver season. Now, if we're looking for a longer odds play, maybe like a tush push from Darnold, a Spencer Rattler plus 550, Kendre Miller somehow vulturing Alvin Kamara. This is the range I would live. I hate it so much. I want nothing to do with it. But the concept of this video, there you go. A lot of plus odd touchdowns this week. It's going to be volatile. You need to understand when you are betting on lower implied probability plays over and over again, you're going to miss a lot of them. But you also don't need as many to hit to make money. I'm going to start this one off on the Cardinals side of things. Kyler Murray, listen, he's not like he's not a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen or maybe even a Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. You're all about to be excited about Sunday Night Football. My primetime parlays, I've cashed 5 of them this season. That's crazy. I only post 1 official for every primetime game. 5 have hit? Nuts. And that Sunday Night Football game, both the Sunday Night and Monday Night Football games, the primetime parlays, they're already kind of floating around up in my head on what they're going to be for my VIPs. I'm so excited to post those. And if you want to sign up, VIP links right there. I'm telling you, 3-0 on Thursday Night Football. Full sweep, my friends. And I cashed my primetime parlay on Thursday night for my members. That link is right there. You get my 10,000 simulations betting model. That'll be all the game picks, sides, totals. You get all my VIP plays and picks and write-ups. I already have 3 out for Sunday. Full write-up. They look like little articles. And then you get the VIP access to go get Fire. He's 52 and 25. Opto EV picks 14 and 2. Cashed a plus 1,300 this past Monday for his official Monday Night Parlay. I'm telling you, there's a lot of ways to win money in my Discord. That link's right there down below. It's the tails.bet/DFS and Donuts picks link. So long odds play, Kyler Murray plus 298. He's got wheels. He can score. He hasn't done it as frequently as you'd think he would, but it doesn't mean he can't. I think he's an interesting one. But truly, I also think guys like Ricky Purcell at plus 200, Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 187. Like, you are getting the alpha in the pass catching game for both teams at long odds. And I like that. That was the Brock Bowers special, plus 192. That is, Nico Collins, plus 142. Jamar Chase, plus 151. I'm not entirely sure why we are getting so many of these wide receivers where they're the best wide receiver or have the highest touchdown equity. Keenan Allen, another. And there's such long odds. And remember, when you get long odds like this, like if Keenan Allen scores a touchdown at plus 217, this is just math. You can't argue it. If Marvin misses and Purcell misses, you actually are still cashing profit of a 0.17 unit. Now it's a small unit, 0.17 is not a lot, but it's still profit. When you're betting on longer odds players, and listen, if two of them cash, I mean, goodness, you have, 4 picks that you can miss and you're still profiting. When you're betting on longer odds, these plus odd plays, you don't need as many to cash. When you're betting on minus 170s, I mean, you got to hit essentially over 60% of your picks to even profit. So be careful. If you are betting on straight up best implied probability to score, yeah, it is CMC, but James Conner's a fine option too. CMC leads the NFL in red zone opportunities. He scored last week, but don't sleep on James Conner, who has 2 touchdowns already this season, and last season scored in 50% of the games. So make that 10 out of his last 18. All right, we did it. We got the Chiefs and Giants. We got the Lions and Ravens. And before I bet on these teams and these players, any day there's football being played, I am live at 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Thursday, Sunday. You got to subscribe, like, turn noties on so you do not miss. And in my opinion, best way to do it is just set an alarm on your phone, 9 a.m. Eastern. I am here for you for 2 hours. All right, let's get to it. Chiefs, Giants. You know where I'm going first. You better know by now. Is this man right here getting no respect? Patrick Mahomes, baby. We have cashed him 2 weeks of this season. Long odds, plus 488. In week 2, unbelievable. In week 1, he was just a mention. In week 2, I featured him in multiple videos. We're going to type in Patrick over there on mysparbyedge.com. This is my sports betting website, and it's where I house all of my tools and projections and things like that. I also have an ensuite of optimizers. I don't even highlight. I do not market my website very much. I'm not a good salesman. It's $15 if you want to try it. That link is the second link down below. But there's optimizers here. Basically, the best math-based plays are just given to you. They just pop up and it says, all right, the best play, the best second best play, so on and so forth. So second best play based on math right now, Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown over there on Novik. Cool. Hey, maybe we include that in our parlay. Remember, you're getting my favorite parlay of the week for touchdowns on Novik this week. Got to sign up. Code DONUTS, DONUTS. But I digress. Oh, there's number 5. Patrick Mahomes, plus 370 FanDuel, plus 315 on Novik. Novik, the best part, though, is legal in over 40 states. Every other book is not. So that is my favorite part of why Novik is my favorite. So many of you out there can use it. There's people out there in Texas who are using it right now. I mean, goodness. Enjoy it while you can. This is the golden age of sports betting. Stop only using these pick-em only apps. Code DONUTS, DONUTS. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown in week 1. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown in week 2. And hey, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you last season, playoffs, scored 2 against the Bills, and then regular season. He scored there against Houston. So for anybody doing the math, simple addition, he has scored in 3 of the last 4 games dating back to the playoffs, 4 of the last 7 games dating back to last season, both games this season. And you know why I don't think this will slow down this year? Because his team is overrated. That's why they're 0-2, my friends. Listen, they played 2 tough teams. They've lost 2 close games, but they have problems right now with no Xavier Worthy and no Rashee Rice. And the reason why I still think they make the playoffs and still make a Super Bowl push is because both those guys should be back and healthy at some point in time this season. I think Rashee Rice comes off the list at week 7 or so. Xavier Worthy is week to week right now. When they're both back and they're healthy, as long as their Chiefs are kind of stumbling along, 3-3, 4-3, so or something like that, they got a shot at still making the playoffs and making a playoff, push. But until then, if it's not Pacheco, if it's not Kareem Hunt, if it's not Travis Kelce, which by the way appears to be a trio that's simple to game plan for, defenses are just not letting any of them score. Once they get inside the 10-yard line, good freaking luck. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, if you watch that replay, I had actually acted it out on my video for fun. I was like, he drops back, all his pass catchers are covered, he tucks it, he runs to the right pylon and dives into the end zone. And I just did it for fun. And then what the heck happened? He had like a 15-yard touchdown run. Where'd that happen? He dropped back. Every soul was covered on the field. Nobody can get open. They're overrated. And he tucked it and he ran and he dove to the right pylon. I mean, literally, I acted out a plus 480 touchdown in week 2's video. I'm not going to act it out again, but I do think at over plus 300 odds, he's a phenomenal anytime touchdown pick. Now, if you're looking for shorter odds here, it's Malik Neighbors. Primetime lights, one of the best playmakers in the NFL. Russell Wilson just forces footballs in everywhere. Xavier Worthy is questionable. We're not entirely sure if he's going to be playing. He is traveling as if he will play. If he's active, you got to think he might be worth a sprinkle. But for me, it's just Malik Neighbors. And otherwise, it's Patrick Mahomes. And to be honest, you want me to pick a favorite from the game? Kind of similar to the Brock Bowers situation. Jamar Chase, they're longer odds, but they're also Keenan Allen too. Yeah, those longer odd plays. Some of them just are also my favorite. Patrick Mahomes plus 315. All right. If you're not excited about the Detroit Lions at Baltimore Ravens, check your dang pulse, my friends, because this one could be an absolute shootout. 41-40 Buffalo Bills win in week 1 type outcome. We might get fireworks, and betting on it is going to be a blast. And because of that, I think a lot of people are slamming over everything in this game. And then when that happens, when Vegas sees all that money coming in on all these great outcomes for touchdowns and overs, they might make that call. So just be a little careful. And I think on Monday's live show, I'm actually going to talk about this a lot more. I think there's some ways to make a lot of money. And again, on Novig, you can bet unders for touchdowns. And because you have 2 players here in Henry minus 201, you can bet the under if you're like, I don't think Henry's scoring again. Well, but, listen, if you truly believe that, you get a plus 175 to take that right there. Now, because I have to make a pick for every video, I'm going to be honest. I have a lot of analysis to look at, some matchup information. I've got to shop the odds a bit more for this game. I still have 48 hours. Monday morning at 9 a.m., I will really dissect this game, and I'll build a parlay on that live show. But because I got to pick something here, of course, I like Derrick Henry to score. But nobody tunes in to watch me pick minus 200s. So for now, I'm going to keep it safe, and I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs at minus 122. But understand, I'm just turning around and handing the ball off on this pick. I'm keeping it simple. On Monday morning show, that's when I'm going to let the fireworks rip. There's so many spots in this game that I think are interesting. We'll have a good time. Do me a huge favor. Like today's video, subscribe to the channel, come back 9 a.m. Eastern, Sunday and Monday for the live shows. We're going to make all sorts of picks and parlays. Total degeneracy on that show. Thank you for watching today. Thanks for all the support, the likes, the subs, the comments. Y'all goated. I am nothing without you. I really am not. There are many creators out there, and none of us are anything unless we have a community that is supportive, and you totally are. And my YouTube has seen growth like never before for the past 2 weeks. I am heavily indebted to you, which is why I try to provide so much value. Every video you see me make on this channel, I make a pick in every single game on every single video. That's my way of trying to show you the love back. I appreciate you immensely. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you make some money. If you're one of my members, I'll see you in Discord. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Oh, and let's get paid.